good evening or good morning. I don't even know what time it is. Mike Fisher, The Fish, 105.3 The Fan, in Oxnard, live at Camp Cowboys as we run this joint. 24 hours, wall-to-wall ball, and we'll take you through day one of the workouts today. Morning walkthrough and then an afternoon, no pads, but a full workout otherwise for a whole lots of folks. And we'll get through the whole roster of kind of who did what here tonight. First, a quick word about pizza and the anthem. I can't eat pizza anymore. When you get to be my age and my weight, you'll understand, you punks. So I don't worry too much about the Cowboys pizza affiliation. I worry that there's businessmen using the N-word. I'm worried about that. I worry that there's white businessmen using the N-word, but the Cowboys aren't affiliated with that white businessman, and now the pizza company isn't either. So I'm not too concerned about Jerry Jones and his 50 pizza chains, which of course were always exclusive from Papa John's. The Jones family owned it. See, get it? Exclusive. And then on the anthem, I'm disappointed that the NFL owners, at least 31 of them, and the Players Association were working on something, some sort of a way to satisfy or pacify everybody. And then Mr. Jones said, well, I already have my way, and that's the way we're going to do it. It's very American for Jerry to want to do it his way, and I've got my 29-year relationship with Jerry Jones, and I'm really proud of it. But it's also very American for you to do the anthem your way and for me to do it my way. Sean Lee said tonight, we're going to stay unified. That I've got family members who fought in wars, and so I choose to honor them, and I think that's the right thing. So my toes are going to be on the line, and our locker room will stay together. Now to football, which you tell me. In fact, tell me in the comments, and really I will respect and reflect that. I'm about done because I know what I'm going to do with the anthem, and I know the only person that I have the right to tell what to do about the anthem is me, and I also know what I'm doing about pizza. I just can't eat it. The Hot Boys, that's the nickname that the defensive linemen have given themselves. I guess, is that Lil Wayne's hip hop group from 15 years ago or something? Is that what it is? The Hot Boys. And so they're trying to pick which guy gets to be which. Tank Lawrence gets to pick whatever he wants. He looked really outstanding today, and he jumped off the page. He really did at practice while Randy Gregory watched. And Gregory declined to comment to the media today, the PR department. It feels like I already ate some pizza. What's wrong? The PR department thinking that it's protecting him from something. He's a 25-year-old man. He's very bright. Jerry Jones says he's got the highest IQ of anybody I've ever seen. And yet the public relations department for the Cowboys doesn't trust him to talk to the media. But we'll talk to Randy here in the coming hours and talk about his fantastic comeback story. And this was, in a way, day one of it. Day one on the field with a jersey. He didn't do anything except kind of coach and hold a bag. They're gonna take this really slow with him, but it's still really exciting. If you're a Cowboy fan, if you're a Gregory fan, and if you're Randy Gregory himself. Tank Lawrence also talked about kind of a band of brothers thing and said it's like soldiers. It's like brothers. You don't give up on each other. You wonder how long that extends to David Irving, who's got other problems. And I've expressed on the air here on 105.3 The Fan, and I hope you understand and maybe even appreciate where I'm coming from here. By the way, like and share this video to all your Cowboy Nation friends if you enjoy the work that we do. Nobody's told me that David Irving is a drug addict. So I don't know where everybody else is getting their stories that David Irving is a drug addict, but nobody's told me that. I'm told that he's got a clinical issue and he's trying to get himself together. And I'm going to go ahead and finish second on this story, I guess, if David Irving is a drug addict, because I can't get anybody to say that. I think there's a possibility that somebody might have said rehab clinic, and then that's been automatically assumed to have been drug rehab. So I'm going to finish second on the story, but get it right. A lot of questions about Rico Gathers in the comments. He's the fourth string tight end on a team that just can't keep four. Jeff Swaim, obviously, right now gets a lot of snaps at the top of the depth chart, and there's competition, and Rico gets excited when they let him line up at the F, which is kind of a fullback position, and he did that a little bit today, and that means they're letting him expand his playbook, but he's doing that as the fourth string tight end. He's still, I mean, he's there as a prospect. I mean, Rico's a prospect, but there's 3 tight ends ahead of him. Zeke looks sleek. That's going to be the headlines that you're going to see tomorrow morning. I don't know. He's a big old kid to me. He's a big, gigantic, playful pit bull to me, pit bull puppy. But there was a moment, and if you go to my Twitter account at Fish Sports, maybe I'll put this on this account too. There's a moment where running backs today are doing a drill, and it's a footwork. It's a plant and cut drill, and there's kind of cones down on the ground. Plant and cut and go. And I think it was Trey Williams, the young running back, who's back here again. And he's trying to do everything all at the same time, and he's doing too much, and he's planting all of his feet, and he's going all over directions, and he's fumbling the ball all over the place. And Ezekiel Elliott took it upon himself to kind of cuss him out. And I was impressed. Not that I'm impressed with swearing. I hear plenty of that in my house, believe me. I mean, that I was impressed that Ezekiel Elliott, that's leadership. That's taking a leadership role. That's being the big brother. That's being the guy who captains the room and says, don't fumble in a footwork drill. So a good day for Zeke, whether or not he's sleek. Terrence Williams, make fun of him if you want to. I like T-Will. And he's got a broken foot that he's coming off of. So the head coach is saying, we're going to take it slow here. T-Will practiced today. And if you really look at his record and quit making jokes about him, he always plays. Terrence Williams always plays, and he almost always practices. A lot of questions about rookie updates and Earl Thomas. Let me make sure that I get to those. Leighton Vander Esch is an impressive kid. But the starting middle linebacker today, the starting Mike today, is Jalen Smith, who's an impressive older kid. I had a great conversation with Leighton Vander Esch, and you'll be able to hear some of that tomorrow all day long on 105.3 The Fan. The Wolf Hunter. And he likes it. He likes the nickname, and you'll find out why when you listen to The Fan over the course of the day. Dak is the cover guy on the media guide. So Dak Prescott, this is kind of his team, and all he's got to do is win games, and this can really work nicely. Other standouts today, I would close with the Earl Thomas news. Yeah, there's nothing new, except again to say that the story isn't about when the teams last talked, because we reported here on The Fan that they talked during draft weekend and that they came this close. The Cowboys were willing to give the 2 and then pulled back when Connor Williams was still on the board. And then the Cowboys called Seattle and said, we'll give you the 3, pick number 81. Seattle never did call back, so the Cowboys picked Michael Gallup, the receiver. So the parameters were set, and I believe the Cowboys had conversations with Earl Thomas's people about the money. So the Cowboys are ready. Just whenever the phone rings, whenever Seattle wants to call, Cowboys will answer that call. And then the final nugget today. Tavon Austin is a wide receiver. If you ask him, he'll tell you he's a wide receiver. And they can put him in space, and they can call him a web back and come up with all sorts of clever names. But they need to come up with clever plays, and they did today. He ran kind of a jet sweep. And you could see what they see in him. You could see really why he was the 8th overall pick in his draft, even though he's a smallish guy, and you couldn't really let him play running back in a traditional way. But they ran a lot of 10 personnel today. That is to say, 1 running back and no tight ends, which means 4 wide receivers. And Tavon was one of those. So Tavon Austin as weaponry today. We will do the Fish Report from training camp every morning at 8 o'clock Dallas time. We'll move it back just a little bit so I can sleep for 40 minutes. So 8 a.m. Dallas time every weekday morning, live from camp with Sean and RJ, of course. G-Bag Nation, I'll still do the Fish Report every day at 11:20 with those boys. And obviously the whole gang's coming out here to the Dolce Vita